was surreal. Just like I got in the huddle, and I was like, all right, I'm back in the huddle now. Like, just embrace the moment, and it was time to go to work. Like, I was itching to get back on the field, so just to get that out of the way and then get back on the green grass with the fellas, man, it was good for me.
What all did they have you do today? Just some of the drills and stuff like that. What did that look like?
I did everything. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I did everything. Yeah, every drill, every period, I was out there.
You've been used a lot throughout your career, a lot of catches, a lot of carries. Was it almost beneficial to not be in training camp, or how I assume how fresh you feel at the moment?
I don't know. You never know, man. Like I said, like for me, I got into a routine of taking care of my body and setting things up to where I could be explosive when I need to be explosive. So like, I think if I would have came to training camp or not, I would have put myself in position to go be explosive come next week. So I don't know. I can't really tell you if not, but I do feel fresh.
With only about 5 practices before the Buffalo game, how close to 100% do you think you'll be in terms of conditioning for that game?
Well, you really can't tell, man. I'm gonna try my best in practice, like finish a lot of runs, put myself in a lot of game situations to where it's realistic for me to be out there on the field and doing things. So I'm gonna try to put myself in that position, but you never know till you go out there and do it. I think once you're out there, everything kind of goes out the window, and it's kind of like let's play ball. The conditioning part is gonna come with it. But other than that, I've been working my tail off, man. I'm ready to go play.
Dalvin, has this been kind of a whirlwind, how everything, even with the baby?
Yeah, appreciate it.
All of that, just kind of now you're on the field playing football.
Yeah, now I feel like I'm part of the Jets now. Now I feel like I'm part of the team. It's just like, man, I came in for a few days and I had to go back home and spend some time with the birth. Then I came back and I was on the side just trying to get back from just sitting in the hospital. And it was just a lot going on. Now I get to dig deep into the playbook, get familiar with the guys in the huddle, and just have fun with the guys I got in the locker room. Man, I'm ready to go. So have fun.
So how do you keep connected when you're in that situation, when you're in the hospital, just anticipating the birth of your child and everything like that, but still keep connected?
Well, I'm in the hospital. I wasn't thinking about nothing but my child, to be honest. Yeah, that's all I was thinking about, to be honest. But like, as far as like being connected, like once I signed the paper, like I'm here, like you know what I'm saying. Like I know, I done been in this league long enough to know, like you know what I'm saying, like what it takes to go out there and play good football. So like, being connected, just being around the guys, being me, and it's just what comes with it.
How do you think you'll be used, early in the year?
I don't know, and I'm kind of excited to see. I got a great skill set, and I come with a unique skill set, which I could catch the ball at the backfield. I could be explosive from any position, around the offense. So I'm just looking forward to how they use me. I'm available, man, for anything. I'm up. I'm ready to go.
With you and Brees together, how do you that 1-2 tandem? How do you think that rates? I mean, is that one of the better ones in the league, or where would you guys put yourselves?
Yeah, we just got to go put the work in. A lot of people gonna put us at the top, but we just got to go put the work in. We got to go put it on the grass, and I'm a firm believer of we put the work in, before the game come. I think the preparation will take care of itself, and I think the talent that Brees has, the young talent he has, I think we're gonna be something special together. We just got to go do it.
Dalvin, we talked about all those years that Aaron was on the other sideline. Has there been a moment either today or before now where it was kind of surreal, like catching a pass from him and taking a hand off? What is that all been like?
It's just been in the huddle, for real. Like, that was my first time being in the huddle with him. And just being in the huddle with him, it's like, all right, I'm in the huddle with A-Rod. Like, I'm on the other side now. Like, it's cool, man. Just being around a legend, just soaking up the game, seeing his point of view. When you're in the backfield with a great quarterback, I think communication is key. And, I think he's the best communicator, just being in the huddle from day one.
Was it important for you to go to a ready-made team and someplace where you might get 30 touches? You know what I mean? Like, I know you say you want to win. Was it important to have this type of group?
Yeah. Obviously we played these guys last year, and I faced the defense, and I feel like we got one of the best in the league. And I feel like, when you have a great defense, you get the opportunities on offense to go do something special. And you look around at the guys we got here, I feel like we could go do something special. The defense is gonna give us opportunities. We just got to go capitalize on them.
What have you learned about Aaron that you didn't know prior to signing here?
He's a great guy, man. He's a great guy. He's cool, man. Like I kind of knew that just from playing against him, seeing him on the other side. How he go about his business, professional. And he's a great human being, man. I'm just glad to be in the locker room with him.
Who was better fashion, him or Kirk?
I ain't getting into that.
When you say
What that was.
do something special, what do you think this team is capable of?
I think the sky's the limit. We could sit here and talk about it, but I feel like a lot of these guys know in the locker room that just us sitting here talking about it, ain't gonna get it done. We got to go out there and take care of stuff on the green grass. Come Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever we play, whenever we suit it up, we got to go take care of business, and that's what's gonna get us to where we need to go.
Will that be all?
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Xavier kind of were the same spot, undrafted free agent, to make the team with him. What's that like?
It feels good. We came in together. We played at the NFL PA game together, so we already had a bond. And, just to make the team with him, knowing all the hard work like we put in every day here and just staying on each other, making sure we holding each other accountable at practice and even in the film room. So it feels good to know I got my dog with me and I ain't got to go through it by myself.
Dude, you guys were kind of competing against each other, thinking for a role. Is there do you ever think you guys would both make it?
I mean, it was possible. I knew it was possible after everything that had happened, but we just never, was in competition with each other. We were just coming out here putting our best foot forward every day and just trying to, make the team.
How did the team break it to you? How did you find out?
I got the phone call. I came up here and I talked to them, and they broke me the news. So it was a real fun experience. I was happy, and I'm just grateful to have this opportunity and take the most of it.
Who did you call first after you got the phone call?
My mom. Well, I ain't called nobody first because I was like, oh, what they calling me for? You feel me? Because they had been cutting all morning, so I was like kind of nervous. But I had a good feeling too, though. So.
And then after you called your mom?
Yeah, I called my mom.
What'd she say?
She was at work, so she was finna start crying on the phone. So I was just telling her, Mom, just chill. You know what I'm saying? Do your job. I just kind of let you know I made the team. And she was just happy. She was just speechless.
How good does it feel to be back up here?
It's cool. I'm out here for now have fun. I'm ready to go put in some work. I like your hat too.
I appreciate it.
Heat culture.
How did it feel to have Salah come out after the game and say you're the starting right tackle?
It was pretty cool. It was a great moment for sure for me, for all the work that I put in over these past 2 years. So it was definitely great.
How do you know you're ready for 60 snaps, 70 snaps, whatever a regular season game might be after, in the preseason you don't go more than 25, 30?
I mean, I've been putting in all this work. I feel like I have no choice but to be ready. Even if I didn't do a full game in the preseason, I feel like I'm still ready.
So what's the confidence in your knee now as opposed to when you first started training camp?
It's real confident. I'm really confident in my knee, for sure.
What gives you the confidence in your knee at this point?
Just multiple reps of doing the same thing over and over every day. Just muscle memory at this point.
We talked to Aaron after the game, and he said one of the things he's been impressed with is how you've risen, kind of your play and your attitude and everything like that. And one of the reasons it seems like the team this year kind of put their arm around you and embraced you more so than years past. Did you get that feeling that locker room coaches, other players, they built you up?
Yeah, I definitely got that feeling this year, other than the past 2 years when I've been injured. But that's understandable. I was injured. I'm not doing things that the team do, so I'm not expecting to be embraced as I am now. But yeah, I definitely feel a difference from when I was injured to now.
You and Aaron had an embrace on the sideline on Saturday. Just what was that like, and what led up to that point?
It was dope. I had went up to him and told him I had fun, even though we only played 2 drives. It was really fun being out there with him. Just the work we put in every day led up to it. Just how we talk to each other every day led up to that. So that's nothing different, or that's what we do every day.
What was it like having the whole first team O-line together for the first time in practice today?
It was cool. It was fun. It was real dope. We got to joke with each other, so it was pretty cool.
Okay, how did you reach a point where you were okay with right tackle? Because obviously there have been points where in the past where you didn't feel that way. How did you kind of get there? This training camp where you were good with it?
Sometimes you got to take a step back and put ego aside and just do what's best for the team, and that's my main thing right now. I'm just doing what's best for the team, and I want to be on that field with my teammates.
Before camp, you know, if you would have been told at this point you'd be starting no matter what position, kind of what would have been your reaction, and just how do you feel like this summer has gone for you?
I mean, that was my expectations coming in. I mean, I wanted to be a part of that 5 no matter what. So, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I mean, but it's the work that I put in. I mean, I still got a lot more things I need to do. So, it's just another block at this point that I got to build on.
Was it kind of crazy for you how quickly it all happened? Because, you know, we were to the point where you weren't really competing for the starting reps, and then all of a sudden you were competing for the starting reps, and then in a span of 2 weeks you got the job.
Nah, I don't think it was. You said, was it surprising at all?
Yeah, like, or how was that experience for you?
Nah, because my motto is you stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. So I'm always ready. I'm always waiting for the next opportunity, waiting for my number to be called, no matter what. So I wouldn't say I was surprised at all.
You said you were comfortable in the Bucs game at right tackle. How much more comfort did you gain against the Giants, and how much is that building now that you're getting the chance to like do it
I mean, I got even more comfortable with the Giants, of course. I mean, it's like I said, it's just building blocks that I got to build on every day.
There's been kind of a narrative through the summer about the offensive line potentially holding this team back. What do you think now that you guys are all healthy, you guys can do together, and does that motivate you guys at all?
Yeah, it definitely motivates us. I mean, we're not gonna say too many things. We're just gonna go out there and go ball out like we're supposed to.
Is that all?
Well, my colleague wants to show you his bull rush.
Appreciate y'all.
Corey retiring, you know, change things for you? Maybe put a little more on your plate?
I really don't look at it that way. You know, we had a lot of competition in our room this year, and guys stepped up to the plate and had the opportunity. You know, I hated to see Corey go, but we had to do it. He had to do what's best for him in this situation.
What do you just see in this room? Obviously, everyone knows about Garrett, but there are some obviously questions after him.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of talent, a lot of guys who can do a lot of different things that bring something different to the table. And it really was just about the understanding of the offense. You know, at this level, everyone is gifted. Everyone has talent. And it's really about who could step up and understand what we try to do offensively. We have a lot of rules and a lot of adjustments on certain routes and things like that, and just seeing guys continue to grow through OTAs and training camp.
Do you think you would have been content if you had chosen retirement this offseason?
No, definitely not. You know, I definitely think watching Hard Knocks would have definitely made me wish that I was still playing. You know, I'm glad I made a decision to come back, and you know, when you love the game the way I do, I think a lot of players will say this, it's hard to go into the next phase of life. You know, I know at some point that time will come, but luckily it's not right now.
Randall, a lot of people look at your age, look at how long you've played, and it's like, oh, the guy's lost a step. When you see your GPS numbers, when you're on the field practicing and running routes, do you say, like, no, I'm still the same guy, I can still play?
Yeah, that's always been the case for me. I think the only thing over my career has been health. As long as I'm healthy, I've been out there and I've been able to produce. It's just about staying healthy and doing everything I can to make sure my body's ready for 17-plus games.
Xavier mentioned you had an influence on him, especially in the locker room, just out on the field, especially in punt returns. What did you tell him that you think really aided him?
I just tried to be of model and help him in any way I could, answer any questions that he had. I saw him as someone that was gifted and overlooked. The moment I got here in OTA, it's just his natural ability to run routes. And I just saw him as someone that I could help. And I just tried to reach out and do everything that I could. And he did the rest. You know, it's one thing to give advice, but when someone takes that advice and runs with it, it leads to things like this and making the roster.
Is there someone who's returned in your career?
What's that?
As someone who's been a returner in your career, what do you think about him as a returner?
I think that we saw flashes through the preseason. Right, he had some big returns for us in the kickoff and punt. So I think that he's shown flashes and he's shown the ability to do it on this level. And I've seen him make improvements all through off season and all through training camp as a receiver, and that's what you want. That's what you look for, guys that's making improvements and growing at this stage in their career.
Was there something you adjusted or changed at some point in your career to have you be at this stage and still able to perform at such a high level? Like, was there a point in your career where you went from, okay, I'm younger, can kind of do whatever I want, to now we're going to do something different?
I was very fortunate. When I walked into the NFL, I had a bunch of guys that taught me. Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, James Jones. They took me under their wings and they taught me what it meant to be a professional by the way that they came to work every day, the way that they carried themselves in the facility, the things that they did off the field, their knowledge of the game, and I was just able to pick up from it. And I think as my job throughout my career, as I stepped into more of a leadership role, was to pass that along and to give everything I could, because at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's about the betterment of this team and doing everything that I can to get us to the next level.
And was there one, I'm sorry if I didn't ask this before, but was there one thing that made you decide to come back and play one more year?
Yeah, you know, I've been dealing, I had a bone spur that I've been playing through for the past 2 years that really was the reason that I was ready to hang it up. Just the pain day to day, it was hard to get through practice, and, you know, games were easy, but it was hard to get through practice in the week of preparing for a game. And once I had the surgery, I wanted to give it another chance to see what it would be like not having to deal with that anymore. And, you know, obviously I started out on PUP and I've worked my way back and I feel great. You know, this is the best I've felt in a couple of years, and I'm going to do everything I can to play at a high level and give everything I can to this team.
Do you think you're going to surprise people?
I don't care. I honestly don't care about what other people think. I know what I can do and I know what I bring, and I'm going to do that, and if they're surprised, they're surprised, but that's on them. I know who I am.
How important is it for the, you know, guys like you and Allen and some of the young guys to be productive just so teams can't just double or triple Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I mean, he's a gifted talent, and when you have a guy of his caliber on your roster, on your team, defense is they're gonna go that way, and it's important for the rest of us to step up and make plays, to give him opportunities to get one-on-ones, and not have safety help on every single play when he's running.
What does it mean to you to make the final roster?
I mean everything, you know. That's all I ever wanted when I was a kid growing up, you know. I've been working hard my whole life trying to get to this moment, and it finally came.
What was the moment like when you found out?
Excited. It was, man, more than excited. So, you know, it was just unbelievable, really.
Shout me out. Can I
John
say something real
Franklin,
quick?
SFA.
Say something. Shout out SFA.
SFA, man, excellent. Well, it was more than exciting, man. It was a blessing.
Where were you at when you found out?
I was with JVC, actually. I had rode with him to help him pick out a suit for the gas fee thing, and I got a call. I really thought they were about to release me, you know. Greg called me, Coach Solly. I came down, and they kind of tricked me into thinking I was going to get released. And then he finally said, man, you made the team. I was like, it took a moment for me to take it all in until he realized and said I made the team. So,
How did they feel?
he said, I appreciate you for making the team. He said, I appreciate you for helping out the team, man. You put a lot of work in for preseason. But I'm sorry, you made the team. So it was exciting for hearing him say I made the team.
How do you know, obviously, Darren Woodson and a few veterans, but there obviously is some role for some of the young guys. How do you kind of look at the opportunity here?
You know, whatever role I have to play to help us win, I'm willing to take that role on. You know, there's some great leaders in the room. It's a great team, so I'm just willing to play my role.
So what has it been like working with those guys like Garrett and Allen and Randall Cobb as well?
Man, they amazing. They are amazing people, man, on and off the field. You know, they took me in, helped me out. You know, they seen something in me, and they just been on me. Yes, sir.
Will that be all? Thank you.
Thank y'all.
We haven't talked to you since you injured your shoulder. So how are you doing coming back from that?
Great.
Do everything this week?
Yeah. It was just, game of football, get a couple bumps and bruises, obviously throughout training camp, throughout the season practice and whatnot. So, yeah, I'll be ready Monday night.
How did you feel the camp in its entirety was like acclimating routine?
Yeah, I thought it went great. I think, obviously the beginning camp, there's a couple hiccups and slower start just because getting to learn everyone, just the new playbook and everything. Obviously, Aaron being implemented here and just his different variations of how he plays the game. But personally, and I think as an offense especially, we progressed very well. Especially, I think since Carolina, of just kind of be able to find our identity, what we do well, guys in their certain roles and whatnot, and just go out there and executing every single day.
Davis take you guys by surprise, and how do you think, what does it do to the receiving?
Yeah, it definitely caused, I think, everyone by surprise, top to bottom of this organization. Obviously, we're trying to build and do something special this year, so for him to walk away from the game, it must be something very serious. And so, I think everyone reached out to him, just, wishing him the best, and, that we obviously care, and sending him good energy throughout that whole process. But, as far as the receiver room, it's, it's been something that we've been saying since, I've gone to the league and since I got here. It's always the next man up, it doesn't really matter who's out there, what 11 is going to be out there. It's all about executing and, moving the sticks and scoring touchdowns and coming away with the win. So we just got to keep fighting and keep forming our identity.
Do you think you guys, as an offense, can hit the ground running week one, or is it going to take a little time with all the new pieces to sort of mesh?
I don't see why not. I think that's kind of what training camp's for. It's kind of just be able to find that identity, be able to find our pieces, what plays we like, what people can do very well, and, going out there and be able to showcase it week 1 through 17 or 18, I guess, or however many weeks there are till February. But yeah, obviously there's going to be high expectations, obviously outside of this building and everything, but I think the expectations and standards that we have for ourselves will exceed that as well.
As a guy who came as an undrafted player, do you have an appreciation for Gipson and Brownlee?
Absolutely.
Do you see yourself in
Yeah.
of their journey?
And since they've gotten here, I've tried to take them under my wing as much as possible and just give them my pointers and some advice that I've gone through and just the struggles I went through. These guys didn't get cut. I think Irv got cut last year and was on the P squad and everything, so his journey's a little bit different than JB and Zay's, but at the end of the day, it's just all about making the roster, and this is just the first step. And then once they kind of made the roster the other day and we kind of had our first meeting, it was like this is the first check mark, but this is really when the real work starts, because now the time clock starts and they're going to do whatever they can to replace you. So I'm just making sure I'm coming in every single day, working my hardest and just being a leader, giving them something to challenge themselves to be and to keep on growing.
I think we all saw in Hardings last week, Aaron, frustration come out a little bit in practice, a string of F-bombs there. I'm sure you probably...
I haven't seen it yet.
But you probably
lived it.
Yeah.
Probably lived it a few times.
And more than one way, yeah.
Was that the first time, is that a lot this summer, or is it typical for him in training? Having been with him for so long?
I think it's typical, Aaron has such a high standard of himself because of his ability and what he can do with his game. And he's not going to lower that standard just because other guys on the field are there with him. So he's going to hold those guys to the same standards, same expectations whenever he's on the field. So he's just going to approach it the same way. And if you mess up, and he's going to let you have it. And, sometimes I think, especially the way the world's kind of going, is that people are getting a little bit more softer and a little more sensitive. But I think that hard, confrontational discipline is all that you need. I know it was for me. When he was cussing me out or giving me a dirty look after I messed up, that's what motivated me to not do that again, because I didn't want to disappoint him, but also I didn't want to disappoint my teammates and more so myself and like what I was trying to do and everything. So I think it's just a great reminder of just be on your shit.
That being said, Randall said he's noticed the more patient Aaron since coming over here. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely. It's hard to describe. He's just a lot more relaxed and not necessarily letting things slide, but not being as so hard to come down on people when they mess up in certain situations and re-teaching things kind of 2 or 3 times where in the past, if it was installed, you better know it, and I think that was all in good merit because when I got to Green Bay, I had Devontae, I had 3-4 other guys that had been there for a while and knew the system, so I was learning off of those guys that already were very well rehearsed. Everyone here has no idea what to really do, especially certain situational stuff that we can install these plays and what we should do on paper and what we're expecting the defense to do, but in this situation, we couldn't predict the defense to jump this route and for this guy to overlap and do that. So it's all about, with him, it's all about just teaching improv. And I think that's what kind of the beauty of the game is a lot of it is improv of just, we called this play, but it's not how it really happened after snap, but we still made it happen and we were able to get the catch, get the chains moving, and score a touchdown and everything. So yeah. Got a little distraction going on. You guys are high for bags.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Just how are you feeling after coming back from the back end?
Better. Those things suck.
Was that?
I said those things suck. Yeah.
Was it, Robert described it as back tightness to us?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it something you felt before, or?
No, this is new. I was playing around with Big Al, and he asked for a piggyback ride, and I just strained my back. That's what kind of happened.
You're joking.
Yeah, I'm joking.
When you have a back injury like that, just how does that limit you in what you're able to do?
Well, and like any injury, but it wasn't anything that was like serious. But I'm glad it happened during camp, so I can just stay through the regular season healthy. Got a lot of camp in, got some good stuff on tape. Physically was in a good spot. Little tiny setback, but just glad it happened earlier. As opposed to we got this long run coming up, so I can just continue to stay healthy through that.
Are you back doing everything now? Like we obviously can't watch like we used to.
Oh yeah, I thought I got back to practice like 2-3 days ago. I'm just getting back acclimated. Perfect timing. Like it's a good acclimation week. We're into it. Didn't want to come back during like joint practices, especially not all the way functional. And then now we get next week to just prepare for Buffalo. So it's good timing. Everybody's getting healthy. Got a lot of new faces, a lot of smiles. So it's great.
How about missing all that practice time, practice reps, and how it might impact your conditioning for week 1?
I don't necessarily think it was like impacting my conditioning because I was like staying in shape. If y'all know about the Peloton, it gets you right, keep you good for football shape and without putting that much impact on you. But I don't think it's much for that. It's just more so like timing and speed and explosiveness and those type of things what you need the practices to get yourself back to it, but not more so from a chest conditioning. I always keep myself in shape.
What did you think watching the D-line, Carl, in some of those preseason games and joint practices and the way they got after the quarterbacks?
Practice has been translating to the field. So, as far as how we've all been rolling, everything we do in practice, we just got to continue it to the regular season. So checking all the boxes, we did it in practice, and we did it in the preseason. Now we're going to do it in the games in the regular season. So I'm excited, as I think you are too.
What allows this defensive line to kind of put their egos in check? Because you got so many talented guys on here, but not everybody can play at one time.
I think you put your ego in check because the style that we play, and I feel like what we have, it'll be enough for everybody. So it's just, I don't know, it's kind of one of those things. I really don't know. I mean, you got a great group of guys that understand what's going on, and then the tape is a tape, so like if guys don't feel like they're going to get their shot, no, they will, because everybody wants a group of dogs. So, I don't know.
How are you able to keep your ego in check then? I guess that's the better question.
I don't know. I mean, I think mostly I just know I'm a ball when I get in there. And so I never really thought about it like that. It's just like, I kind of I've had years where, it's weird. Like, you have years where you have less snaps and you can still put up the numbers that you need to put up. I mean, I had years where I've had tons of snaps, and because the offense couldn't score points, I didn't get as much production. So it's kind of like one of those things, hand in hand. I think when you have a unit like this and you have, such high expectations for offense that can score, there's going to be enough for everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? As you can see with the Philadelphia Eagles, as you can see with all the great defensive lines in history, is, if you can score points everybody can eat. So that's how I keep my ego in check.
What kind of jump have you seen from Jermaine in his second year?
I think Jermaine is way more focused this year. Last year, like sometimes, I think, had some ups and downs. I think he's really, really, really focused and locked in. You know what I'm saying? And he's learning to, like every player that comes in, learn to use the tools that are given to you and maximize those tools. Not try to be anybody else. Be yourself. Play really hard and things like that. So I think that's the biggest thing for him. Just like taking his tools and maximizing those things.
Thanks, Carl.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.